Hey, what's up you guys? Today I'm going to be reading real witch stories from Reddit. So we're on a little spooky vibe today. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading the first story. It says, "The story of a real witch. I live in Eastern Europe. Well, more exactly in Romania. You may have heard about those gypsy witches that live in my country. Most of them are just pretending to be something that they're not. This is a story of a real witch. My grandmother used to live in the same village with a witch. I don't know if the witch was gypsy or Romanian, but it doesn't really matter. She lived for so many years that no one knew her age. This woman claimed to be a witch, and she also claimed that she had this demon who served her. She used to talk about the way she sold her soul one night in the forest while performing a ritual. In return, she gained powers and the help of a demon. She said that she couldn't die until she convinced someone to take full charge and responsibility of her duty as a witch and sell his or her soul to the darkness as well. She had, I believe, 3 daughters, but people said that their mother's behavior scared them away. They moved to Bucharest and never returned to the village. You will say that she was most likely a crazy old woman. Well, no, a lot of people heard weird noises coming from her attic, and she agreed that the sounds were made by her slave demon. People, even though afraid, asked her to solve their problems and gave her money for that. No one ever complained about her work. No one. Everything was put in place no matter how difficult the task was. Also, people witnessed a lot of hard work getting done overnight in her yard and garden. Stuff she wasn't able to do alone. Unfortunately, I do not know if she's alive. I have one more story about a witch, so let me know if you want to read it. And this person also edited it. This is what it says. And there are a few more details I did not mention. Some of you were really curious about this story, so here it is. My grandmother met a woman on her way to work. This woman asked my grandmother about the witch. She wanted to know where the witch lived. My grandma gave indications and then asked why she was going to see the witch. She said that a thief broke into her house and stole her savings, and she wanted her money back. The next day, my grandma met the woman again. She carried a bag. My grandma asked her what happened. She said she went to the witch and received the promise. She was able to find the money on the table when she returned home. That's so crazy. The witch asked in advance for half the money. The woman agreed. It was better than nothing. Things happened exactly as the witch have said, and she carried the promised money in the bag on the way to the witch's house. Oh my god. It's crazy because it's like people get put in really tough situations and they become desperate that they think that the only solution is to go to a witch, but you never know at what expense. Anyways, there's another story from the same person. Another story is that a woman fell in love with a married man. She went to the witch and told her that she wanted that man. Girl, there's so many, and like, you really want that one? That bad? The witch asked her if she wanted the man no matter what the consequences were. She said yes. In less than a month, his wife got ill and died. He remarried. He got married to the woman that killed his wife. That's why she was seen as a powerful witch, as a real witch. She had some supernatural powers. It's not a good thing to be doing these things, because if you really know, they don't come at a cost of nothing. Like, something bad is going to happen to you for going to a witch. Like, nothing good is gonna come from this, even though it's a short-term fix to your problems. That's really scary. The fact that somebody's wife actually died. Like, someone's life actually ended because of some selfish, nasty reason. That man could have left his wife on his own behalf if he really wanted to. But because y'all being nasty out here, God. The next story says, my paternal aunt did witchcraft on me. A few years ago, I was between 7 or 8 years old. The house where I lived with my parents was a family home, so not a day went by without seeing or hearing from my father's family. One day, my mother told me to help her pick up the mess that was in the hallway, Everyone passed through that hallway because it was at the entrance. When I started to pick up everything, a few seconds later, a relative on my father's side, the aunt, passed by me and said, "Look, eat it, it's clean, I just bought it," she said while giving me fried food. I decided to take it. After the aunt left, I started to eat it, and when I finished, I threw away the wrapper. After about 2 months, my mother realized that I had lost weight because I looked thinner, a little emaciated. My skin color had become yellowish and pale at the same time. My mother took me to the doctor, but everyone said that I was healthy and that there was nothing abnormal in my body. A few days later, a woman approached my mother and said, "You have a sick girl. She is a short girl, blonde, with long hair. They gave that girl something to eat, and because of what she ate, they are killing her. Bring her to me, because in a few weeks she will be gone." Of course, the lady did not know my mother or me. My mother told me that she was shocked because the lady described me without knowing me. My mother did not know her. She hesitated a little more, and the next day she took me to the lady. When we entered the house where the lady was, we realized that she was a santera. The lady took some herbs and put me in the middle of a statue that was in the room. She began to clean me with herbs. After that, I remember that I felt like vomiting. So they took me to the drain, and I started to vomit, but it was something slimy and dark brown in color. After we finished everything, the lady said, "A little more, and you would have been gone in a few weeks. There's a reason I found your mother." That's insane, because how did that lady even align to be in the same place with the mom to be able to tell her that? You would think maybe this was like a scam or something, but the fact that she actually felt sick and threw something up that was brown is really weird. And like, did you ever confront the aunt? Like, do you know that she does witchcraft stuff? Like, why would she even do that to a little girl? 7, 8 years old? What? Encounter in Mexico that I will never forget. Myself and my friends needed a holiday, and we decided to go to Mexico for a week. There were 4 girls and 5 guys that were due to go. I typically thought of tequila and chili, the 2 best things on my book. We spent all our cash that we had, and in the end we had to use our cards as backup. No biggie, but we didn't plan for it. So we go to a bar, and I started a tab behind it and gave them my card to keep it until I paid. Kinda stopped us walking out and forgetting to pay for drinks. To sum it up, we had enough money for the holiday. We got to the bar around 7 o'clock, and we were just drinking and having fun. Then the screams happened. We were at a bar that had a road behind it that backed into woods. Everyone in the bar heard these screams, but they didn't react like we did. Me and my friends stopped drinking, and we were like, what the F was that noise? We looked around, and the other people were just casually sipping their drinks. The owner of the bar screamed something in Mexican to the other workers, and straight away they were at the windows, pulling the curtains over all the ones in the bar. The owner even dimmed the lights and ran and double locked the door. I kid you guys not, it was like watching something out of a film. The other people in the bar weren't reacting, and it just shrugged off like it was a daily thing. Myself and my friends were just staring at each other and mouthing profanities. Everyone was so quiet, so we took it as we had to be as well. The owner was at the bar and had his hand on the counter, gripping a shotgun and staring at the door. My friend got up and walked over to the bar to ask the owner what was going on. Jake literally got up out of his seat and looked at the owner. The owner put his hand out to Jake and motioned for him to sit back down. Without knowing what else to do, Jake sat back down. Then the noise started again. It sounded like someone being torn limb from limb and letting out the most piercing, agonizing scream that I've ever heard in my whole life. It would scream and then make a high-pitched animal scream straight away. I'm sorry, I can't describe it better, but it sounded like it was making those two noises at the same time. The hair stood up on my neck and I started to get goosebumps. The noise seemed to start at the back of the bar and you could tell it was moving. It made its way outside the windows and then it was at the door. I'm 100% silently freaking out by this time. The noise is right outside the door and not moving. I looked around and everyone in the bar was now frozen and just staring at the door, apart from the owner with his hands still on the gun. Two loud thuds at the door. It sounded like it was slamming itself against the door and still making this awful noise. No one inside moved. Scratching at the door now. Silence inside. After what seemed like half an hour, we heard the scream slowly descend back into the forest. People started talking again, and I for sure didn't want to stay at the pub after that. I jumped up and ran over to the bar and said I wanted to pay for my drinks. The owner didn't have a problem with that, but said, "You and your friends can have the drinks on me if you promise to stay the night. The bar will be open." What the hell is this dude talking about? Stay here? I'm sorry, but we already have a hotel booked and it's only a short walk away. I'm now nervously glaring at my friends and please come over and help me way. No, you don't understand. If you go outside, it will get you. Free drinks and in the morning you can go. Well, we stayed and it was a very good night. We had free drinks, played some drinking games. We didn't go to sleep the whole night and in the morning we made it back to the hotel where we all crashed out. Seriously, what the hell? Oh, hell no. I would like just be pinching myself the whole time and wanting to get out of that whole situation, because first like I thought it was like a cartel story, you know, because everybody knew what to do in that situation. So somebody on there replied saying, "For what you are telling, I highly doubt it was some kind of gang or some victim of a gang. As a Latino, I can pretty much say it was La Llorona or La Sayona, which are pretty much the same but have differences in their lore. Since you were in Mexico, I'll stick with La Llorona. La Llorona, it's an anima / tortured soul, ghost, etc. that roams towns or small cities looking for her children that she herself drowned before killing herself. She screams and cries horridly just like you described, and on occasions bangs the door of people's houses, apparently bars too. It's a good thing you didn't leave. It is believed that after you hear her scream, no matter what, she can find you. So that's why people don't leave or go out after they hear it." Oh hell no. I'm just gonna end it here with that story, but make sure you guys are leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing. Bye.
You a little post-so baby. You a little 48 baby. Got a little candy in her pocket. She gon' take off like a... You already know.